Going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. I hope you guys are doing great tonight. Hope everybody is having a great Friday evening. Looking forward to a fantastic weekend. You guys know what it is. We are hopping into some live 2025 fantasy football drafts tonight here on the Catch through Underdog Fantasy. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about tonight. Preseason hype is here. A lot to go over. Some of these, first week of the preseason outside of the Hall of Fame game. Football games going on, as we speak, and over the last 24 hours. So we certainly have a lot of discussion to break down, things to react to. And as always, we're going to throw together some great squads for the 2025 fantasy football season. And I do think that some of these preseason games will impact some players who we will be potentially drafting tonight, because we are drafting through 18 rounds in these underdog lobbies. So you guys know what it is. Hop into the live chat. Let me know how you guys are doing. Any fantasy football questions that you guys have, any NFL topics that you guys want to go over, any fantasy football topics you guys want to go over, let me know. And we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football and go through a couple drafts here. So I'm going to try and enter the puppy just to kick off the stream here. But apparently having a location error, but I should be able to. I've had this happen before and been able to work around it. I don't really know why it does this sometimes, but let me see if I can get this fixed, and then we'll hop into the puppy, and I'll start to go through some of the updates from tonight's games. And if there's anything anything crazy that stands out to you guys, that is happening in the games as the stream goes on, please let me know as well, and we will go from there. All right. Gotta reset Underdog apparently, and then we'll start hopping into a draft here. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Hop in the live chat, and let's have some fight, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me try one more time here. I should be able to get this to work. Huh. All right, let's just completely close out of Underdog and get back in. Still, I think one way I did this before is I joined on my phone and then it worked fine after that. But I've definitely had this happen before and somehow worked around it. So I promise I'm in Virginia, Underdog. Weird. Still not working. Yeah, Kat says in the chat, join on your phone, then go to it from the PC. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Albert, what's going on, man? Hello, hello. Kat's good to see you as well. Let me know how you guys are doing. Yeah, I thought that was the best way to do it. Cats, I'm hopping into the puppy. I just want to do a quick, little cheap entry, $5 entry. So I'm entering from my phone in 3, 2, 1. Puppy. 20 seconds per pick. It says there's 8 spots left. All right. Yeah. So let's get this bad boy going. There's all my slow drafts currently going on right now. Got quite a few. I entered a lot of weekly winners because I wanted to have some weekly winners entries this year. J-Dubs, I'm in the puppy. 20 seconds per pick. Sorry. But yeah, I think weekly winners is completely full now. But this is sad. Sad to me. All right, should be good to go. J-Dub's at the 1-1. I like the new layout on Underdog. I saw this earlier, but it is kind of annoying for the stream. Cat's at the 1-12. Myself at the 1-11. Let's go. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I got to scroll back and forth here. I liked when the whole thing would show on stream, but I really like when the players are on the screen. I think it looks super clean. So I'm excited for if you guys haven't seen that, for you guys to see that. Looks good. All right, let's have some discussion. We got some stuff to talk about, boys and girls. So let me get one or two things pulled up. Hit the like, do all that good stuff, and let's get rolling. Yeah, look at that. Look at the player card. It looks nice. Looks nice. All right, so the Anthony Richardson injury. What does this mean for me? Nothing really. Like he's already expected to probably practice like midweek, end of the week, right? Dislocated pinky or whatever. I don't even know what the official diagnosis was. Is a finger injury, right? I think it's dislocated pinky. I think the bigger issue is like the breakdown of the play and the pocket awareness and all that. But you know, at the end of the day, whether it's going to be Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones or both, which I still think there's a really good chance that it's probably just both. Um, like there's really like, I don't have a different read on this offense. I'm not like super bullish on the Colts offense in general already. I like Tyler Warren at his ADP, and Tyler Warren was involved. He was kind of like the bright spot in that game last night. If you were a Colts fan after Richardson got hurt very early in the game, and I do think Warren at his ADP is going to be worth drafting or taking some shots on. Right. Um, Daniel Jones didn't look particularly great either. Looked okay at times, but like it's kind of tough to get a read on the. I feel like Amon Ra is really falling in drafts lately, but yeah, like I don't have a lot to say about it. But we had the Anthony Richardson situation, so to speak, and yeah, you know, I mean, let me know. I know like Anthony Richardson was becoming like a popular name at the end of best ball drafts, for example, which did make some sense. You know, even if he only plays 5 or 6 games, he has the ability to have those big spike weeks. And I do think that the overall consensus on Anthony Richardson and that potential is probably going to die down quite a bit. I've already been seeing him fall in slow drafts again. So, you know, it kind of felt like it was, I don't want to say exciting. um, but it just felt like maybe some clarification for some people in terms of what we could potentially expect from Anthony Richardson this season. And it kind of feels like the same old story, so to speak. So, let me know if you guys have any further thoughts, but I don't think we need to break it down too much. Matthew Stafford is expected to practice tomorrow. He's been dealing with that aggravated disc, has received epidurals. We knew all this news. But the news that is supposed to practice this week is a little bit positive, right? I mean, we've been kind of sitting around while this whole Matthew Stafford worry has been playing out. We've seen Puka Nacua fall in some drafts. Some people start to be a little bit lower on Devontae Adams. I'm kind of back and forth on the Matthew Stafford situation. I think ultimately, I don't want to over panic here. And at the same, you know, because Stafford has this history of, you know, being injured, obviously, right? And playing through injuries. But it does kind of feel like at this point in Stafford's career, like this could be very bad. You know, he gets hit in the back the wrong way, whatever. He's aged 37 going into his 17th season. Yeah. And then I think the bigger issue from a fantasy perspective is how does it impact Puka Nacua and or Devontae Adams? We still see Puka gone at the 1-9 tonight. We'll probably still see Adams gone, end of the third, beginning of the fourth, like where he's been going, right? And I don't want to panic on those two guys right now. I still think in a Sean McVay offense with Jimmy Garoppolo, a quarterback, like it's probably enough. But I do think that we will see a little bit of a Puka Nacua scare, especially because there's so many good players at the end of the first, going into the second round. Guys at the same position. You see Neighbors, Nico Collins, Amon Ra, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake Lundo, all in that category. AJ Brown, Lad McConkey as well, but also really good running backs, C-Mac, A-Chain, Genty, Henry, all in that kind of range too. So like if there is a little bit of a fall in terms of Puka Nakua's draft stock, I am just not going to be surprised per se. Ultimately, I'm not going to panic too much. And there's still Adams gone at pick 30. So like Adams and Puka in this draft, not even impacted. So, it's going to depend on the draft that you're in. Like I said, I have seen some drafts where those two guys are falling a little bit against ADP. So let me know what you guys think in terms of the Matthew Stafford situation. We did finally see Keenan Allen sign a deal with a team, and that was with his former team, the Chargers, and they did bring him in on an $8.52 million deal. Pretty good deal for Keenan Allen on a one-year deal, right? And we've talked about this all off season long. Keenan Allen is one of my most drafted players. I'm actually wanting to check my exposure. I haven't checked in a week or so. Let me make these two draft picks. I'm just going to go. I still just have a hard time passing on JSN right here. Still a player I feel really good about. I feel like I've also drafted a lot of JSN. But we've talked about this all off season long. Keenan Allen, once he signs with the team, he's my third most drafted wide receiver on Underdog right now. So I've been taking a lot of late round Keenan Allen. We've just been talking about the theory. If he lands with Washington, with San Francisco, with the Chargers, whoever it may be, we always felt like the consensus here is that he's going to land with a contending team. And that's essentially what happened, right? All right. Give me Kyron Williams. I also like Terry McLaurin a lot right there. Ted McMillan, gone to Cat's a good pick too. We'll talk about him a little bit here. But yeah, Keenan Allen is, I think, the undisputed wide receiver 2 here. There's still a lot of room for Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert as well. And I still think that there is some sort of life maybe for Quinn Johnston. I know, call me crazy, but Keandre Lambert Smith, Quinn Johnston, Trey Harris, all these guys can still get targeted, even Will Dissly or Tyler Conklin at tight end. But I do think Keenan Allen's the undisputed wide receiver 2 now. Will have a very solidified role with this offense. But I do think we should probably talk about the injury to Rashawn Slater as well for the Chargers. I'm not going to ultimately panic here in terms of Chargers players. Joe Alt will move over to left tackle. And then I don't remember off the top of my name the next tackle up here who will move in as the right tackle for the Chargers. He is a decent right tackle, but it's a big loss overall for the Chargers. But I think the passing game will be okay. And I did read some interesting numbers in terms of like the Chargers last year with Slater in the lineup versus with Slater out of the lineup. I think he missed 2 games last year, if I'm not mistaken. And like Dobbins was fine in those games. I still think Amar and Hampton will be fine. Still going to be a run first offense. It's still a big blow for the Chargers at the end of the day. But I don't want to panic too much here. I think just about everybody's okay here. But like, for example, we see Ladd gone tonight at the 2-8. I do think that we're going to start to see Ladd a little bit more comfortable in this area of drafts. I know this is a best ball draft, so for like a redraft format, you might see a little bit different of ADP overall. But, I think that there's just like a lot of more solidification and players going before him. We'll talk about Ashton Genty in a minute as well, who I'm not worried about. But I do want to point out when it comes to Lad McConkey, he is hurt right now. He did end up practicing today, but he's had an undisclosed injury that he has been dealing with. And this was his first practice since July 28th. So he has been dealing with an injury and missing some time as well. So I think there's a little bit of uncertainty around the Chargers players right now and this offense. Once again, I'm not going to overly panic here. I do think this is one of those situations where at the end of the day, it's probably best to treat this as off-season shenanigans, for lack of a better word. We have a lot of veteran play. Like, it's just an easy situation to overreact to. And I don't want to personally be overreacting to the Chargers right now. But I do think that lad will kind of fall back just slightly in ADP. I don't know if he's for sure like that guy that's going to, for a lot of people's minds, be overtaking players like AJ Brown, Drake London, Brian Thomas, even Henry A-Chain and Genty for now. And I mean, Chase Brown is really moving up draft boards as he's gone at the 2-7 tonight. So, ultimately, I just think that there's a chance here that he slides back a little bit. All right, good picks right there, Cats. I like it. Some confidence here, knowing you're not going to get those guys back at the turn. All right, we will get to some preseason hype here as well. But I do want to mention Jordan Addison did get hit with the 3-game suspension. We were kind of expecting this. My initial reaction or my initial thoughts here, I mean, you guys know how I feel about Jordan Addison. I still really like him. But the initial feeling was always like a 3-4-game suspension. Maybe they could get that down to 2. I think it's just going to be set at 3, and we're going to live with this. But this is still, in terms of, like, I've drafted a lot of Jordan Addison this offseason. I've talked a lot about him this offseason. I'm not worried about a 3-game suspension for Jordan Addison personally. It just does not bother me. He missed 2 games last year, was perfectly fine. JJ's dealing with a hamstring injury. I've talked up and down about Jordan Addison this offseason, and ultimately we were expecting this. This is kind of good news. Like, the bad news would be like if we saw more than 3 games, in my opinion. So Addison, I'm still drafting him at his ADP. Not worried about it personally. Kyren Williams did sign a 3-year, $33 million extension with the Rams. So for all you Kyren Williams haters, he's on the Rams for 3 more years. So stop it. Okay. Yes, I drafted Kyren in this draft tonight, but also I have been high on Kyren Williams all off season long. And I do believe that he'll continue to have a role with the Rams, even if they're taking late round running backs. Whatever. Good news for dynasty owners of Kyren, I suppose. Najee Harris, we saw the picture of him. He couldn't open one of his eyes. It's probably bad. Khalil Shakir, high ankle sprain. I think we got that last stream. So we've got all that. And then, boy, oh boy, we've got a lot to break down in terms of preseason hype. I don't even know where I want to start. I guess we could start with, I guess we kind of went over the Anthony Richardson thing. So I guess we've kind of began in a way, but Torrey Horton looked really good. This is like a late round player to certainly circle. Did have, so caught 3 of 7 targets. I'd like to see a little bit better efficiency in terms of those numbers, I guess, but did have a touchdown. And I feel like in preseason with rookie wide receivers, as long as they score a touchdown, nobody really cares about anything else. Like, oh, like they score a touchdown, like we're good here. I mean, that's all we need to see for now. So if you've had Torrey Horton circled, I would feel good overall, right? Now keep in mind those targets did come from Drew Lock. So I mean, I think that's something to be positive about here at the end of the day as well. Because if and when, we do eventually get, I don't know if I just missed that pick. Okay, I got Aaron Jones. If and when we do get Sam Darnold in, I do think that those numbers could be even better. And I think when we look at this depth chart for Seattle, Torrey Horton could absolutely come in here and be the wide receiver 2. Or at least take over enough volume next to Cooper Kupp where he's at least putting up wide receiver 2 numbers in fantasy. So, yeah, I would feel really good right now if I own Torrey Horton, like in dynasty formats or whatever. But also, like, if you're looking in terms of late round potential, I definitely think that he is in the kind of mix for a player who we could be keeping a close eye on in the off season, or excuse me, early in the upcoming season, in terms of a guy that might have a role that's significant enough in terms of redraft formats. Donta Thornton only caught 1 pass, kind of disappointing. 3 total targets, but he's getting enough like training camp hype that I'm still kind of sold on Donta Thornton. He's also in that mix of players who um, eh, could definitely carve out a role in terms of redraft formats as well. So, yeah, not super excited for Donta Thornton, but we'll still have some belief there, right? Ashton Genty, 3 total rushes, 1 yard. Not great here. First carry went for 3 yards, and then it was kind of backwards from there. But at the end of the day, like, you don't overreact to this, right? I mean, you kind of had poor play overall from the offense, but the blocking was not good, obviously. And let's just kind of hold our horses. Like we've seen kind of these preseason scares before. Jamar Chase always comes to mind, right? Um, couldn't catch the ball, don't draft him in fantasy. Then he had like one of the best rookie wide receiver years ever. So I don't really want to like spend a lot of time on this one. Ashton Genty, fine. Don't panic about it. And that's really all I have to say. Okay. So there's Rams, Seahawks. I'll go ahead and say I think that Shadur Sanders looked really good tonight. Albeit like mainly against the Panthers backups, but like Shadur Sanders looks like the quarterback 1 for the Browns, or worse, the QB2 behind Flacco, with the opportunity to come in and play this season. And yeah, I don't think there are some early plays where he maybe held on to the ball too long, which is one of his big knocks coming out of college. But like, there's really no negative for me watching what I watched in terms of Shadur Sanders tonight. And you got to feel good if you're a Browns fan, because at least there was some hope there, right? I feel like it's been a weird kind of draft here. I feel like I might switch it up. I got 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs. Let's go Bo Nix right here. I think I'm going to go double quarterback. Like, even if Katz picks a quarterback here, I got three running backs, 4 wide receivers, a tight end, a quarterback. I think I want to kind of get some different exposure tonight. And Bateman's a good pick. I'm going to go Fields or Prescott with this next pick. They both had different bye weeks than Bo Nix, and that'll get quarterback out of the way. Speaking of quarterbacks, Bryce Young looked really good in that same game that Shadur Sanders was playing him. And, I mean, the offense overall just looked fluent. And I don't think there's really anything to dislike in terms of what we saw out of the Panthers starters tonight. At the end of the day, T-Mac is going to be the wide receiver 1. I know there's a little bit of a miscommunication between T-Mac and Bryce Young. The throw was good enough. I mean, it should have been a catch by T-Mac. Should have been a touchdown. But other than that, I mean, T-Mac had a really good game. Jalen Coker looked really good tonight as well. Adam Thielen still has a role here. Xavier Legette got thrown out for throwing some punches and getting his helmet ripped off. And, I mean, I could see Xavier Legette really being overtaken by the other young wide receivers here. Jimmy Horn was making some decent plays out there as well. Rookie out of Colorado. So definitely a lot to keep an eye on there. And the other thing is Rico Dowdle getting some touches, which I've talked about like all off season long. But Rico Dowdle getting some involvement too in the run game behind Chuba Hubbard. Chuba looked fine, pretty normal, but Rico getting some involvement as well. And I think we can definitely expect a little 1-2 punch there. I didn't pay super close attention at the point that when Trevor Etienne was in, so let me know what you guys saw there. But yeah, I mean, the passing game looked fluent, looked good. Once again, I mean, it's preseason against the Browns and vice versa for Sanders looking good as preseason against the Panthers. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Panthers offense with Bryce Young out there looked really fluent. And encouraging to see Jalen Coker, a name to definitely keep an eye on. Looked like they were finally getting the Coke heads what they wanted in terms of that usage and how Jalen Coker should be used. But once again, T-Mac will be the wide receiver 1. And I don't have a lot to say about Washington and New England, which once again, like, I don't know why, because I guess because I'm in Southern Virginia, but Like I got the Panthers game tonight, which there was truthfully more to watch in that game, I think, from a preseason perspective. But I don't know why I didn't get the Washington game is my point here. But at the end of the day, we did see Trayvon Henderson take a kick return all the way 100 yards for a touchdown. We saw a little, razzle dazzle out of Drake May. If anything stood out to you guys in that game, once again, I didn't get to watch it, so I'm gonna have to wait for some like highlights and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know if there's anything that like really stood out to you guys in terms of what you saw in terms of Washington and New England. All right, let me make. I'm gonna go Tank Bigsby here. I think I'm gonna go with another running back. Keenan Allen's ADP has moved all the way up to 166. I'll just go Rashad White. Let's just get running back. Oh, I guess Katz doesn't pick him. He goes Kincaid. Good pick. Yeah, I'll go Rashad White, get running back out of the way. So I'm all done at running back tonight, unless somebody falls that I really like. I will say Dylan Sampson, who just got drafted. Looks like Sampson will have a role with Cleveland, as expected. In terms of the Lions Falcons, which Cash just reminded me of, which I did not see the end of, Isaac Tesla, it does look like he's carving out a nice role with the Lions. But I still think he's going to be competing with J-Mo. I still think it's Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Laporta, Gibbs all in front of him easily. But Tesla could have a nice role, and the Lions are in need of another pass catcher on that team for sure. Let me know if anything else stood out in the Lions Falcons game to you guys. Coker should be going before Leggett in drafts. I 100% agree. And I haven't really been in on Coker at all this offseason or drafting him. And there goes Bryce Young at 142. But I do think like Bryce Young, he's been a really good like late round player to stack in terms of best ball. I don't know. I think it's start going a little bit earlier. And I think Coker will get targeted. Started to draft CD Puka a few days ago because of Stafford. Yeah, Puka is falling a bit in drafts. Not every draft, but some. If anyone should be dropping ADP over the last 2 days, it's Ladd. Keenan sign. Yeah, and left tackle potential career-ending injury. Yeah, we talked about this kind of beginning of the stream. And there goes Keenan Allen. So this team has Herbert, Eagles, Quentin Johnson, and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's ADP is all over the place. Like I said, it's moved up to 166, but it's truthfully all over the place right now. And you will see teams who really, hyper aggressively target stacks like that. And I don't hate it. I thought about going Allen over Bigsby or Rashad White here, but like I said, I mean, Keenan Allen's already my most drafted player or third most drafted wide receiver this offseason. So like I'm not gonna like overextend myself into drafting him. But it is certainly interesting to see. I want to make some like pure upside swing picks here. Let's go Brenton Strange. Pure upside. Let's go Brenton Strange. And I might just wrap up tight end here. Maybe not. Yeah, this is like a time in the offseason. Like we're in the middle of some preseason action, right? This is a time where some ADP is just going to be all over the place. I'll go Donta Thornton, who like I'll reach for a bit. I feel like people are reaching in this draft for names, and like I'm okay with that. And this might be one of those drafts where I end up reaching as well. Kind of a weird squad. Like I went Bo Nix and Fields, and neither of them are going to be stacked, which I don't have a huge issue with. Keenan is a nothing burger in my opinion, but Slater down is huge. It is huge, but I think they'll be okay. Like I still think they'll be productive enough, but it's a big knock to the offense. But I still think like all the primary guys here, Ladd, Keenan, maybe a little Trey Harris, maybe a little Keandre, maybe a little Quentin can be effective enough. And I still certainly think Omarion Hampton's going to be okay. Let's see. Yeah, I do agree with this. Keenan is not a knock to Ladd, in my opinion, but he is a knock to QJ and Trey Harris. Let's see. I mean, I will say too, in terms of the Keenan thing, like they gave him a good contract, you know? Like they gave him a good contract. Like they're gonna use him. That's their plan. Feels like Ladd and T should go back to back, TBH 2 to 3 turn range. I don't necessarily hate that opinion. That kind of like tier wide receiver is a little interesting. Wait, where is? Oh, that's because I'm missing a row. Like, where's T Higgins? Where's Jamar Chase? Yeah, I mean, and in best ball, like I mean, 3 wide receivers set. They're gonna be a little bit moved up. There goes Keandre Lambert. Alec Pierce. Like we're gonna see some name. I think tonight's a really interesting night to be drafting. Flowers sniped. Sorry, bro. I haven't taken a lot of Flowers. Don't have a high exposure to him, so I liked him tonight right there. Where'd I end up getting him? 5'11". I feel like that's pretty good value. Hendo got into 5'10". That's not too crazy though. How do you guys feel about Nick Chubb? Because I feel like every report I've seen about Nick Chubb has been negative, and he's still kind of going at the same ADP. I'm still drafting Jonnu Smith. He just like falls so aggressively in drafts, and I'm okay drafting him. Rico Dowdle's a good pick there, but I've been talking about Rico Dowdle all off season long, and he's like the main reason I've been slightly worried about our boy Chuba Hubbard too. Woody Marks is gone. All right, give me some Torrey Horton then. I'm drafting the preseason hype team. I should have targeted Sam Darnold for this team. I mean, I have 2 Seattle wide receivers. I prefer late 2, early 3 slide for Ladd, so kind of in agreement with Taylor there. Guess being a lot of Ladd then. QG at 91, Palmer at 65, Disley 65. Keenan eats into that, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not out on Ladd by any stretch. I just think naturally he's going to fall back, but it's a combination of things here. Keenan comes in, which I agree is not a big issue for Ladd whatsoever. Ladd has been banged up, and then the blow with Slater going down. I do think Taylor made a good point too. Like, this is a big injury. I mean, this is a type of injury that can be career ending, which is a huge, huge blow for the Chargers and what they want to do. All right, Frozen Gaming. I have back-to-back second-round picks in a 12-team, 2 keeper half PPR. My keepers are Saquon and Chase, as they should be. Best available is JSN, Hampton, Garrett Wilson, Evans, Walker. Choose 2. I'm taking Hampton in half PPR. Quite frankly, in half PPR, I'm probably taking Hampton and Walker. Flex a running back. Go Saquon, Hampton, flex Walker. I am high on Walker personally. If I was going to go with one of the wide receivers in half PPR, it's probably Evans because he has the most touchdown upside. But I think I comfortably have JSN and Wilson and PPR ahead of Evans. Not by a whole lot, but by enough. But yeah, I mean, you're in a good spot no matter what, regardless of format or scoring format. I mean, you have Saquon and Jamar Chase secured. And this is still a really good range of players to choose from. I would definitely target Hampton and half PPR. And then if you wanted to kind of even things out, you could go with one of the wide receivers here. Really, of your choice, my order would be JSN, Garrett Wilson, Evans. If you wanted to kind of keep that like aggressive half PPR approach, I just go Walker. I think Walker's gonna have a really good season as long as he's healthy. And I get that the knock is that he has trouble staying healthy, but I'm okay taking the risk. It's a really good system for Kenneth Walker. I think Clint Kubiak Can do really good things for him. All right, you're not getting Jalen Coker cats. I'm going in on the preseason hype tonight. So I hope you didn't think you're getting them. Is this our final pick? Oh yeah, it is. I will say Keaton Mitchell, the Ravens. Really, you got Isaac Tesla. There you go. I feel like every Ravens running back who touched the ball last night looked good. Cooper Rush looked pretty concerning. I'm a Cooper Rush believer, I feel like, but he looked pretty concerning. I know I draft on Tavion Wicks every draft, but I really like him in best ball in this range. I kind of like Devon Valick. I got an unstacked Bo Nix, unstacked Justin Fields, but oh well. Thoughts on Caleb Johnson? I like Caleb Johnson a lot. I think he fits the system really well. We have to remember this is a run first system at all times, with it being an Arthur Smith system. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm high on Caleb Johnson. I think that he will have the ability to overtake Jalen Warren pretty easily in this uh, offense. So I feel good about Caleb Johnson from a redraft format. I feel okay about him in Dynasty too, and I would take some shots on him, but I just don't know if it's gonna be like a super high scoring offense. So maybe tamper your expectations to a degree. But yeah, I've talked about Caleb Johnson throughout the course of the offseason, and I am a fan for sure. Wow, I got Donta Thornton, Torrey Horton, Jalen Coker on the same team. A lot of preseason hype. All right, I'm not going to go over teams because I'm being lazy tonight. I'm surprised Keaton Mitchell's undrafted. Okay, it goes to J-Dubs. All right, I am going to hop into another draft, though. So I guess I'll just run back another puppy. I'm going to be doing quite a few drafts this weekend, so we'll just stick. Where'd the puppy go? All right, I'm entering. I'm going to wait till 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to wait 1 minute, give everyone a second to breathe. And now we're at 10:10, so I'm entering in 3, 2, 1. We're in. Oh, never mind. Sorry. False alarm. I got to join from my phone. I thought maybe it would be working by now. Sorry, guys. Anger. I don't know why it's doing this. All right. My bad. If you guys joined, I'm not in there. I'm now entering the puppy in 3, 2, 1. All right. I filled the last spot. Where is it? There it is. My bad. I should have known better. Okay, J-Dubs is in there. Let's go. Harris, Conklin, KLS, Gatson, Disley are going to get targets too, and QJ. Man, I'm glad you guys still believe in QJ not being completely dead in the water, because I do agree with that. What's up, Chase? Good to see you, bro. By the way, guys, just a reminder, our redraft leagues for the year are open. $20 buy-ins. League 4 is the final league of the year. It's the last one I'm filling. I think I have 5 spots left. We got quite a few people to join today. So I just opened it today. 7 spots are filled. So if you guys are interested, shoot me a DM on Discord, preferably, but you guys could also shoot me a sleeper DM. I just probably won't. I don't always see those right away. But let me know. And doesn't matter if you guys are in any of the other leagues, you guys can get in. This will be the final league of the year. Do you like any of the receivers in Carolina this year besides Ted? I do like Jalen Coker. Like, preseason hype is getting to me this year. I'm like, you catch a ball in training camp, I'm drafting you. You catch a ball in preseason, I'm drafting you, man. So I do think the pecking order here will go Tet, T Mac, whatever we're supposed to call him. Some combination of Adam Thielen and Jalen Coker, and then Xavier Legette. That's kind of where I'm at. It was kind of I didn't really see any Jatavion Sanders involvement at the tight end positions, but yeah, I I like Jalen Coker right now, but he did just catch a touchdown tonight, so maybe I'm biased. I'm gonna go Ashton Genty. I'm gonna switch up this build a little bit. I'm like always like 99% of the time right here. I'm drafting Puka Nakua or Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then at the turn, I'm hoping for Brian Thomas. He would never be there. Like, I love that start for the 112. Puka and B Tom is like a great start. But yeah, I'm just gonna go back to back running backs here. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Terry, redraft half PPR, Nick St. Brown, Marvo, Henry, Kyron, Warren, Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Pitts, Rice, Hunter, Bigsby, Judkins, Bikba. So you got Nick, St. Brown, MH, Henry, Kyron, Tyler Warren. Sorry, I thought it was Jalen Warren. I was like, why's Jalen Warren in your starting lineup? Then you're flexing Hampton. Very good squad. Yeah. I like Pitts on the bench too. I think Pitts behind Tyler Warren could work. I do like Tyler Warren a lot right now. Bench is fine overall. Half PPR. I think St. Brown is okay. He's better in a full PPR format. But like some people look at St. Brown, they're like, oh, he's just a full PPR guy. And I don't really 100% think that. He has had 10 or more receiving touchdowns 2 years in a row. And he was the wide receiver 3 in full PPR and half PPR last year. So, like, yeah, he's fine. I know I kind of like just discredit myself, but I still like always feel better about Amon-Ra in a full PPR format, but he's fine either way. I do like MH a little bit more in full PPR, but he's okay here as a wide receiver 2. Henry, Kyron, beautiful. Nix is perfectly fine. Warren, I think, is fine either way. Hampton's really good. The main thing here that's important for you is in half PPR, you have 3 very good running backs in a row here in your starting lineup. The bench, time will tell. All right, lots of loud McConkey discussion in the chat. What's up, Andrea? Good to see you. Take George Halane. Sorry, I didn't see the chat. Should have gone all in on Seattle. I still don't think he's taking Charm's spot there. Josh Downs, Jordan Mason, and Torrey Horton in Dynasty. Or wait, Josh Downs or Jordan Mason and Torrey Horton. It really I always am so hesitant to answer Dynasty questions unless I can see a full roster. I do think that it's a very fragile time in Dynasty communities right now. Like you're seeing like now is arguably the time. You could look at it either way. It's arguably the time to benefit from trading players like a Torrey Horton, like any of the other names that are making waves in the like Alec Manor is the other one that really comes to mind for me right now. But even guys like Donta Thornton, maybe some of these Carolina players, right? Now's the time to capitalize on trading them for sure. Like they have an elevated value out of nowhere, essentially. But now it can also be the time, like, think about if you were trading for a Puka Nakua, at this point in the offseason in his rookie year. So you could look at it either way here. If you're contending, I mean, once again, it depends on the roster, though. It depends on your overall needs. So it's kind of tough. I'm starting 3 running. I'm going heavy running back tonight. Give me Kyron. Maybe could have switched it up and gone Brees. I went Kyron last draft, but give me Kyron. But yeah, I'm not. I'll say it this way though. I'm not super high on Josh Downs. I'm not like low on him. It's not Josh Downs. I like Josh Downs a lot. It's the offense and the situation at the end of the day. I'm going to take a receiver here. We'll go Mike Evans. I think overall, I'm probably keeping Josh Downs, but it's a pretty fair trade. Like if you feel good enough about Torrey Horton, then he could do it. But I still think another thing to be careful about is like I like Torrey Horton a lot as much as the next guy. But like I think week 1, like in terms of volume, it's still going to go JSN, Cooper Kupp, and then Horton can have the opportunity to come in here. But I don't think he's 100% stepping in and taking over those guys by any stretch. I'd probably just keep Josh Downs. I'm also not like I'm not out on Jordan Mason. I'm just not a super. I'm not on like not super heavy on the Jordan Mason train. Sorry, I was being lazy. I said I was being lazy. Pete officially out on the Panthers comeback season. Wait, why? I feel like we're in now. We're in on the hype over here. What's going on, Pete? Pete will be on Sunday night. Axis, what's up, bro? Finish your home league draft. Ended up with Baker, Jay Jettis neighbors, JSN Pearsall, Dunze, Jaden Higgins, Hampton, Swift, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Benson, and Joku. What's the format here? Because Baker, JJ Neighbors, flexing JSN, starting Hampton, starting Swift. Very good. And Joku at tight end, fine. Good bench, Pearsall, Adunze, Jaden Higgins, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Benson. I don't have anything negative to say about this team. I really don't. Full PPR? Yeah, I'd feel good about this squad. I think you could easily have a top 10 quarterback, top 10 tight end, 3 stud receivers, good enough running backs. Looks solid to me. All right. I'm not paying attention to drafts tonight. Let's just switch it up. Give me a little Travis Hunter upside over here. I took 3 running backs in a row, man. Would you rather start a 10-team PPR, Jamar London, Chase Brown, or Chase Bucky, or Jamar Chase, Bucky, and Chase Brown? Hold on, let me make this draft pick. I need to try and focus. What's up, Brendan? Good to see you, bro. I'm going heavy running back. I'm reaching for David Montgomery. Can't stop me. So you're kind of looking at a hero RB or double hero RB. I think I'd prefer Bucky, Jamar Chase, and Chase Brown. Really solid double hero RB approach. Jamar Chase is your wide receiver one. I don't dislike Chase Lundo and Chase Brown. Sorry, a lot of Chases in the mix here, but I'm pretty high on Bucky, very high on Chase Brown. I like both those guys a lot. I think they could both easily finish as top 5 running backs this year. At worst, top 10. And Jamar Chase speaks for himself, right? So if you're going to do like a double hero RB approach, which is very, very viable in a full PPR 10-team setting, yeah, I'd feel good there. But I like the other start too. Guess I'm too high, Mason. Almost prefer him straight up to downs. Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't have a problem with that at all. And I think in Dynasty, you always want to trust your own intuition and gut feeling. So I don't have a problem with that. Because I'm very torn on Josh Downs as well. And once again, it's not Josh Downs, the player, it's Josh Downs and the situation he's in. So Pizza's Carolina looked awful, can't block. Yeah, I mean, that is fair. That is fair. But I thought the rest of the offense looked very fluent in terms of the passing game. Now, albeit it's a preseason against the Browns. But I thought Bryce Young looked in control, showed some good pocket presence. Jalen Coker, T Mac, Adam Thielen, Chuba, Rico, Dave Canales offense. I'm still in enough here. Mason, the touchdown guy, 100%. Yeah, and like, okay, I don't know why I'm just not there with Jordan Mason, but I do. They've come out and said at this point, right? The coach staff has come out and said like they want it to be a 50-50 split. And I mean, if there's any running back who's in line to like get injured, right? I mean, I feel like Aaron Jones is up there. He's getting up there in age for sure. All right, I'm kind of regretting going heavy running back. I take touchdown upside and half PPR. That's fair. Yeah, Henderson about to be impossible to get in drafts right now. Yeah, he is. He's moving up, and I think we're already seeing that. We've seen it throughout tonight's course. Man, I wanted Jaden Reed here. I guess I'm going Baker early. I'm having some weird drafts tonight. This is not what I wanted for a heavy RB team. I've been kind of fading Godwin lately because I've drafted so much of him. So I'm happy he goes to you, J Dubs. Like the best values on the board right now are like running backs, which is not what I want to see. I think what I want to do, I don't know, man. Would have felt good with Reed there. I'll just go Khalil Shakir. I was gonna do something different, but I can't be going into the 9th round with 2 wide receivers. But yeah, Hendo gone at the 5-4, right after Cook, right before Walker. I mean, I just don't know if he's going to be like that late round value anymore. It's crazy how quickly the pendulum can swing here. Sorry, I couldn't think of my words. Reaching for Monty, you know it, baby. Got most of my Anderson in the big board. Besides, I don't really like the week 17 matchup. Says J Dubs. If I believe Kenneth would stay on the field, I'd agree, but I don't. That is fair. I think ultimately with Kenneth Walker, if you have that feeling, I've talked about this all off season too. If you have that feeling about Kenneth Walker, I'm not going to say it's a bad feeling. But I would just say to target some Zach Charbonnet shares, get that kind of elite handcuff value because Clint Kubiak over the course of the past couple seasons has been one of the very best, like top 2 coordinators when it comes to fantasy points scored for the running back position. And Kenneth Walker fits the scheme very, very well. So he's just a good value back. And I do always feel a little bit of risk when I draft Kenneth Walker. So I understand it. But at the end of the day, I just think the risk is worth taking, especially if we start to see some of these running backs in that area. Like the Mixon knock kind of hurt because he was right in that area, but like Cook falls back sometimes. Now Henderson's going up. Chuba's kind of been all over the place, as is Kamara, I feel like, as is Harvey. So it's a weird little tier. I do feel like Walker's kind of solidified a little bit earlier, but before the Mixon injury, that was maybe a little bit different. Chuba, I feel like has shifted back a little bit, right? As is Harvey since the Dobbins signing, but Hendo maybe impacts things there. But I do like Walker in terms of value where he's going. The upside is certainly there. in my opinion. There is some risk baked in, though. Brandon, I can get Jason or other guys, but maybe I'll go double RB. My league does go heavy on RB. It helps and lets QB slide. Yeah, I mean, if you really think you can start Bucky, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, I think that's one of the better starts you can get going into this season. So I wouldn't by any stretch feel bad with doing so. I think that's where I would be gravitating towards if I were you. Man, it's just rough out here. I'll go Pittman. This almost makes me want to do another draft. Let's cross your fingers. He's on the field week 17. Who are we talking about? Walker? Henderson? Cam Scattaboo's still been injured. All right, I'm going to wrap up the running back position because nothing's going right in this draft anyways, and I'll put my money where my mouth is and draft Zach Charbonnet. Although I literally just I think this team is doomed. I think this was a bad draft for me. Look at these bye weeks for running backs. Genty, week 8. Kyron, week 8. Monty, week 8. Charbonnet, week 8. So I guess I have to draft one more running back on this heavy running back team that I really only wanted 5 running backs on. I could kind of forfeit week 8. Is that the week where everyone's on bye week? This team. At least I got a Baker, Mike Evans stack. Gosh darn it. I'm going to draft Javonte Williams or something. Rashad White. I got to get another running back on this team. Don't draft those 2 names if you're out there drafting with me. I might run another puppy. I kind of hate this entry. Yeah, I mean, I knew I was reaching when I took Monty. I've not been paying attention to bye weeks whatsoever. And no tight ends on this team. I like that last entry we just did. That was a fun team. This team not feeling so fun. And this is just I just wanted to switch up some exposure, but yeah, traditionally I'd be going Amon-Ra and then probably Lundo at the pick 15 or AJ Brown. And truthfully, I was hoping I get A-Chain. Amon-Ra A-Chain's a really solid start. All right. It's okay, though. I'm not locked in over here. Not on this draft. First draft was fine. First draft, I thought we had some good value. Not locked in at all. And this is one of those drafts where I feel like I just have to desperately catch up at wide receiver. But there's just no good wide receivers available even. So I don't know how I'm going to catch up. And now I need another running back too, which doesn't help things. And ADP is so whack right now. ADP doesn't even matter anymore. Is there anything happening in any games right now that you guys think is worth mentioning? If anything happens, let me know. I can't watch the games while I stream. It'll mess up my connection. So if anything crazy happens, let me know. But are the games over? There's a few games tomorrow and Sunday, right? 27 more eliminators left until I max. Hey, I hope you guys dominate that tournament. Because that's one tournament that I suck at. Next year, I'll make a commitment that next year I will learn how to draft on the eliminator. I'm just reaching all draft, man. I'm going Rashad White. I mean, I have Baker and Mike Evans here. And I think this next pick I'm going to reach too. Look at that. There goes Kyle Pitts. Jadon Blue's been a little banged up. We worried about him. J-Lo's gone. I'm just drafting Keenan Allen. I don't even care. How early? I pick 135. I don't know if he lasts to 154. I really don't care. I mean, this entry's already lopsided across the board here. So I really don't care. It's going to be a Frankenstein tight end room. All my running backs have the same bye week. I did go heavy running back. I literally have 6 running backs. I have a very good running back room. Lions Falcon game suspended. Uh-oh. Weather? Did Kyle Williams look good today? I didn't. This is the one game I didn't get to watch, so I had to kind of hold back and use some of my resources, have a better wrap on it tomorrow after I look at everything. But this was the one player really for the Patriots that I was curious about watching tonight. Not really anybody in that. I mean, there's some Washington players that I think are worth paying attention to. But yeah, Kyle Williams is one player I really wanted to get a read on. So I'll be going back and looking for highlights and a guy got knocked out. That's what I was hoping to not hear. Glad I got all my Keenan Allen exposure when he was going in the 190, 200 ADP range because he shot up. Yeah, this is probably the earliest Keenan Allen's drafted at all. But yeah, I agree with you, man. We've been talking about Keenan Allen was just that player that I was drafting like every draft at the end of drafts. Him, Dontavion Wicks, Calvin Austin, and even other names. But we talked about this for a few weeks, and a lot of you guys brought it up too. Like, once he gets signed, he's going to shoot up in ADP. But I mean, for this awful team I'm drafting over here, I feel like that reach was appropriate. Man, I just don't know if I even want to touch Xavier Legette right now. I just don't feel like he's the player to draft on that team. I have a crazy amount of Kyle Williams on all platforms. That feels right, Cats. That feels right for you. Feels like a player you would draft a lot of. I feel like it's been a kind of a tough lobby too. I always feel like with these cheaper tournaments as well, like people are more willing to kind of switch up exposure, make some wild picks or whatever. So as we're seeing with my team tonight. Taylor says Demario Douglas is my Pats wide receiver choice on Underdog. I do like Demario Douglas. That is ADP. Have we seen anything from Ced Tillman lately? Except for J-Dubs drafting him right before I'm about to. I'm still drafting Donta. I'm going to end up having a lot of Donta Thornton, I feel like. I have no tight ends on this team. What are my next 2 picks? 178, 183. Probably need to go double tight end here. I'm really going to roll with this team with just Bryce Young and Baker, which I think is okay. Is doable. I will be drafting some dart throw wide receivers on this team for sure. How do you guys feel about Josh Reynolds? I'm hearing a lot of these reports like Josh Reynolds is solidified as a wide receiver 2 for the Jets, which makes sense. Alan Lazard to be the next guy. I don't even know, is what Malachi Corley, who's on that team? Xavier Gibson. I mean, Reynolds makes sense. I think Reynolds could be I guess Mason Taylor at tight end. But I mean, I guess Reynolds is a late round name to pay attention to. Yeah, Taylor's been going hard on the eliminator drafts. I hope it pays off, bro. I always want to hear one of you guys. Oh wait, this is your ADP on Kyle Williams. Hey, we're out here being gross. We're out here being gross. We might have to, I was not going to do a third draft. We might have to though. Yeah, wide receiver 2 is always worth a shot, right? If Josh Reynolds is your wide receiver 2, you don't have wide receiver 2. Hey, this is a former Lions player we're talking about. Okay, Cats? I need to figure out a plan at tight end. I used to really like Gasecki in this range, but I don't know that I really am high on Gasecki anymore. The Noah Fant signings got me a little spooked. Is that too much? Should Noah Fant have me spooked? He had 48 catches last year, 500 receiving yards. Mason Taylor's got a high ankle sprain. Illinois heavy in eliminator this year, doing bigger contests. Yeah, I'm still saving a good bit here for best ball entries. Oh, I'm on the clock. I gotta go Johnny Smith. Not even close. I still like Johnny Smith in this range. For me, Reynolds will probably catch most of the passes thrown his way. Best believe there'll be a defender draped all over him. Yeah, how many passes are even going to go his way? I guess is the real question. I gotta go Kate Otten here. Gotta go Kate Otten. Then these last 2 picks have to be wide receivers. This is such a gross team. I mean, in reality, it feels gross, but you never know. You know what? I changed my mind. I like this team. I got Baker stacked with Mike Evans and Kate Otten and Rashad White. I've got Bryce Young stacked with nobody, but there's still a shot, right? Ashton Genty, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Monty, Charbonnet, Rashad White. I mean, we got a stud running back room over here. Mike Evans, Travis Hunter, Shakir, Pittman, Keenan Allen, Donta Thornton, Johnny Smith, Kate Otten. I take it back. This is a good entry. I don't care what anyone says. This is a good team. Thank you, J-Dubs. I feel like drafting Jets players might not be a good idea this year in general. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Fields can pass. He can run. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Justin Fields, I think will all be fine. I do want to like Mason Taylor. I'm a little disappointed to see the injury. Making me a little queasy. I feel like Justin Fields always had that good connection with Kate Otten. I mean, not with Kate Otten, with Cole Kmet. I'm sorry. And I did like Mason Taylor coming out of college. But yeah, listen. We're talking about Josh Reynolds. We're talking about late round dart throw wide receivers in best ball formats. This was not a Fields can pass like anger statement to you, Taylor. This was a Fields can pass cooking of Justin Fields. by a Vikings fan in Pete. Jets players will have little to no no Garrett Wilson, no goodwill. There goes Shadur's. I do think we're going to see Sanders start to move up in drafts. I love the preseason hype. He can pass where it lands. Another question. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't need the pass to put up good fantasy numbers. We've seen that in the past. He can get it done on the ground. But in terms of who's going to benefit from that, there is going to be an impact. He does check down more than you think. Definitely. Very large in terms of those check down numbers. That will be good for Brees Hall. I think it's Brees' last year as a Jet. I mean, I don't think that's crazy to say. Like, I could definitely see a situation where that plays out. Mainly because I gotta draft Jalen Coker. Drafting Jalen Coker in every draft tonight. No one else is gonna get him. But yeah, mainly because I mean the running back position too. Like, I mean, it is a position that gets moved on from, right? So I don't think it's crazy necessarily. You guys mark it. This team might win this whole tournament. I think we'll see how Braylon Allen looks at the end of the year as well too. All right, I'm drafting. I'm not saying until J-Dubs drafts. All right, I'm gonna draft Elike Manor. All right, I'm still being lazy. For anyone who wants to enter the next draft. Well, first of all, I'm not going over our teams, J-Dubs. Anyone who wants to enter the next draft, let's just run another puppy. Puppy 3 at 10:45 p.m. Eastern time. Give everyone a minute to get adjusted. I will enter correctly this time from my phone since I'm having issues. I will count down 3 to 1 at 10:45 p.m. Eastern time and enter the 20-second per pick lobby. So get ready. I'm just staring at the clock. Cats, Taylor, J-Dubs, anyone out there who wants to draft with us tonight can do one final draft. 10:45 p.m. Eastern time is right now. We are entering in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, I'm in. Hopefully you guys got in. There's only one spot left. Which is annoying. Here's a best ball mania I'm running. Neighbors, AJ Brown. Drafting from the 1-8. Let's just go Tyreek Hill in that draft. Usually I'm probably going JSN, but let's switch it up a little. Neighbors, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill. All right, let me go to the draft that we're doing right now. Starting in 20 seconds. Dang. I chose a bad time. Only J-Dubs got in. They're just filling. I mean, the tournament just opened tonight. It's a $5 entry. It's a Friday night. Didn't get in. I almost left when it said one spot, but I didn't know if you guys were in there yet. It's always a better feeling when I join and it's like 9 spots. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of more opportunities throughout the off season, boys. But that is sad. We tried. I think I'm going to start giving it 2 minutes till I join as opposed to 1. I always choose 1 minute. I don't know if it really matter though. That one was close. I only had 1 spot by the time I joined. All right, let me know how you guys' drafts go. And let's keep it rolling, boys and girls. All right, at the 1-6. Honestly, I think that last entry turned out okay for what it was. I'm going to do an aggressive wide receiver build for this draft, though. Yeah, especially starting with JJ. Let's go. I'm going to draft like 6 receivers in a row. Probably only drafting 2 of these. I'm about to get real weird. Let's go. Time to get weird. I do really like the new layout. I think it looks super clean. All right, let me see anything else that I missed that I wanted to go over. Man, Trayvon Henderson did look ridiculously fast. T-Mac looked really good. I mean, we talked about all this. J-Dub's going to do my last Husky after this draft. Call it a night. Yeah, so tomorrow night I will be drafting one underdog team, and then I'll do a mock draft right after. And then Sunday night, I think we'll do 2 mock drafts. Pete will be on Sunday night as well. Get ready, Pete. We're doing 2 mocks on Sunday. Tomorrow night, I'll do a solo underdog draft, a solo mock draft. Let's go Drake Lundo. If I don't mind if I do at the 2-7. Taylor starting with Nico and Amon Ra. Can't go wrong there. Yeah, once again, I love this time of year. We're seeing just ADP all over the place. Going to get a lot of different exposure. A lot of people trying to change up their exposure. I like it. Pete says I need top end draft practice. For sure. You gotta start getting ready for those catch leagues, bro. Be interested to see where you land in League 4. But yeah, no more random order on these mock drafts with the community. Just be first come, first serve, whatever spot you guys want to practice from. It'll be fun. Picks 1-6, I'm lost. I feel pretty good about just about from anywhere. But I do feel like I kind of agree with you. I've had more experience so far this offseason drafting early and drafting late. Let's go Marvin Harrison. I was hoping JSN would fall there, but I'll take Marvo. Got a lot of JSN exposure. Go in on the receivers here. We've done a couple of different builds tonight. Najee Harris still blind. We went over that. I don't think there's anything else to go over that we missed. I guess we could talk a little bit about the Ravens running backs, but like I feel like there's no reason to. Like I've liked Justice Hill as like a late round target and best ball, like a good handcuff. But now maybe there's a larger discussion with Keaton Mitchell looking solid. Not like anyone was ever down on Keaton Mitchell. It's just the injuries have kept him away, right? And then who's the I didn't realize Rasheen Ali got injured. because he looked pretty good. 37 yards, a touchdown off 9 carries behind Mitchell. But now he's got an undisclosed injury. So that's never good. But yeah, I mean, it looked like just about every Ravens running back he touched the ball looked solid. Dearness Johnson's on the Ravens? I didn't know that. Don't know if that's going to have any impact whatsoever, but time to do a heavy RB build the J-Dubs way. I like it. I feel like tonight we've been drafting next to each other like every draft. I can guarantee you your heavy RB draft might be better than the one I just put together. All right, give me Xavier Worthy. Don't mind if I do. Nice. 4 different bye weeks. JJ, Lundo, Marvo, Worthy. I do like Pickens right there. Won't lie. I'm going to keep going in at wide receiver here. Taylor, I have a George Pickens problem. I don't think it's a bad problem to have. I think he's definitely in line for a big season. And like I especially feel like in best ball, like the ceiling here that's implicated is I think there could be some down weeks for Pickens, but I think there's gonna be a lot of spike weeks and like the upside reminds me of like Jameson Williams. Like the upside's really high here. So I like him in this range. Taylor took him at 38 this draft. Yeah, I don't hate it. Something like there's some wide receivers in that range that have safer floors, a little bit more solidification. But hey, go get your guys. Cowboys will be very pass heavy for sure. Let's go Calvin Ridley. It's a weird tier of players. Chuba, Kamara, Henderson, those guys will all be gone by the next time I pick. I thought about going running back here. Ridley, Zay Flowers, Adunze, Olave, Debo, Jawan Jennings. I feel the best about Ridley. I almost took Trayvon Henderson just for the theme of preseason hype, but it's okay. Keep going in at wide receiver. 38 is fair. It's a range of wide receivers that, like, I'm not going to take Pickens between or before McLaurin or T Mac. I think there's a discussion with the Chiefs wide receivers, but yeah, I mean, even at 44 here, you know, like you're just seeing Hall, Cook, Daniels, like for example, this draft. So you want to go Pickens for Chiefs wide receiver? That's fine. I don't know if I'd take him before McLaurin and T Mac though. And like even looking forward, right? I mean, DJ Moore, Devonta, J-Mo, Sutton. There's a lot of names that I really like in that range. Metcalf, pretty low on Waddle. But once again, the upside I think is in that range lies with Pickens. I feel like Stephon Diggs has really moved up in ADP too, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with it. All right, I'm going to take a 6 wide receiver here. And I don't know how I want to play it after that. I guess I'll just go in at running back. But I also want to get some sort of balance. Give me Jacoby Myers at quarterback and tight end. Burrow's kind of falling a bit here. I feel like the issue with Burrow in like these tournaments is like whoever has Chase or Higgins is who's most opportune to taking him. And then like people will pass if they don't have one of those two players early. Maybe if they have Chase Brown, get that correlation. I always went Burrow there just because I think he's the best value, but I really wanted to go 6 wide receivers for this draft. But the more and more Burrow falls, I mean, like great value. I don't know how If you're at the 1-1, I could see if you have the team with Higgins had Hurts, maybe regrets that with Burrow falling to 72. But yeah, if you're this team at the 1-1, this team only has one running back in Pollard, but I just don't know how you don't take the stack there. So I think it's a good pick for him. Love Jordan Addison this range still. Taylor's got Nico, Amon-Ra, Kyron, Chuba, Flowers. Nice. And Pickens. Of course, you got Pickens. Give me one more. Give me one more receiver. Give me Jaden Reed. I also would have really liked Chris Godwin here. But I got a lot of Godwin exposure. Nico, Amon-Ra, Kyron, Chuba, Flowers. Nice. Yeah, I like it. Done at running back. What? Don't you have? Oh, wait, you went heavy running back. Just 4? You can take one more late. My kind of heavy RB build. I mean, I still think 4 running backs is doable. Thanks to whatever I did. You're welcome. What, drafting Jaden Reed? Look at that. Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, back to back. All right, I got picks 91, 102, 115. Those need to be running backs. Preferably the next to 126. You guys think Quinshawn Junkins is going to sign anytime soon? I do feel like Quinshawn Junkins is starting to become a player that might actually have really good value. If Chris Godwin falls to 91, I'm going to take Chris Godwin and have 8 wide receivers in a row. I don't care. I'll do it. Look at the imbalance in these positions across the top of the board. 7 wide receiver. Okay. I was going to say, I'll take Chris Godwin with this next pick. Don't tempt me, whoever's in this lobby. Barkley, JT Hampton, Harvey, 2 vet, 2 upside plays. Definitely. Oh, I missed one of your running backs. Oh, you're done till round 18. I'm going Aaron Jones. Look at that fall. People low on Aaron Jones because of the. Yeah, I mean you're done for a while, but you could take one more late. Just a little picky pick for depth. I feel like Aaron Jones is a good value there. People just lower because of Jordan Mason situation. And we got that correlation with JJ. Hey, I just look at this receiver room. JJ, Lundo, Marvo, Worthy, Ridley, Myers, Jaden Reed. You got to love it. And I'll take a late round rookie receiver or something. The nice thing here, too, is we're looking at a lot of late round quarterbacks. The earliest would be Mahomes, of course, but outside of that, Kyler. So I can kind of chillax. Don't need to take a quarterback anytime, which I would say with this type of aggressive approach is probably something that has to happen. You guys seen Scatabo fall back in drafts? Man, I need people to stop drafting J.K. Dobbins. I just feel like Dobbins not a player you can get as early as before. Okay, I don't really love this pick, but I'll take a swing on ETN here. Kind of in a position where I feel like I don't have a choice. Mark Andrews is a good value here. That's the thing, too. With this type of build, like you almost want to come out with some sort of hope at tight end as well. And I think that hope is fading away quickly. This area of the draft is so ugly. Things are getting kind of ugly for me quickly. I almost went 8 wide receivers. I don't know if you can come back from that unless like you land on the exact right running backs who end up being valuable, like handcuff situations. You know what I mean? Which is possible. Trying to lock in over here. Bateman's a good pick this range. I feel like I've seen Bateman move up in ADP. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Or am I seeing that actually be a thing? I gotta go Charbs. So week 8 is the bye Mageddon this year. I gotta pick 126 coming up. I feel like I need to go tight end with that pick. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Just gonna start reaching on Kyle Williams. I don't hate it. This is a tight end quarterback portion of the draft. I mean, look at these Prescott. I mean, Purdy, Prescott, Goff, May, Dua, Gonzo. Far Gonzo. I kind of want JJ McCarthy on this team. I want to draft Tucker Kraft. Fields is still sitting. I feel like, is it because of the toe thing? Like, I feel like I've been seeing Fields. I understand like a week ago, but I feel like he's still kind of falling back in drafts as of late. Oh man, I wanted Jordan Love on this team. Why'd you do that? You got Matthew Golden. That's right. That's a good pick. I was hoping for some reason J Lo might fall to 139. It's a good pick, bro. Give me Tucker Kraft though. Sorry, I haven't been like scrolling horizontal. I gave up on that. So I know you guys have been missing parts of the draft, but you'll get over it. I feel like Fields are pretty good value right there. Pick 130. Goes Herbie fully loaded. Still a lot of QBs going. A tough pick coming here. There goes Keenan Allen at 133. That's earlier than I took him at 135 in the last draft, so I feel good. Yeah, and I mean that it makes sense. See a lot of wide receiver twos here. Shaheed, Burden, who's not really a wide receiver two, but Bateman, Mims, Williams, Palmer. This is wide receiver two, wide receiver three with upside range. So I won't be surprised if that's where Keenan Allen's like landing spot starts to be. You know what I mean? Tough pick here for me, no matter how things shake out. We'll go Kincaid. Let's get tight end done. Ferguson was the other. I'm glad you got Ferguson because he got Prescott, but between Ferguson and Kincaid, I wasn't really planning on going tight end there. But now it's done. I don't have to worry about it. I mean, maybe I do have to worry about it, but the one issue is I keep pushing quarterback in this draft, and it might hurt me. I mean, I think ultimately it'd be okay, but like, might be missing a true QB1 with upside, which is okay. Maybe. If all else fails, you can always draft Aaron Rodgers, then target Johnny Smith and Calvin Austin. And I always talk about identify 1 to 2 true late round quarterbacks so you can do that with in best ball. Bo Nix with 1 or 2 wide receivers. Basically anyone who wasn't Cortland Sutton last year. Bryce Young last year. Anybody. Most people are looking at Leggett, but Adam Thielen was in that range. Baker Mayfield was okay. A little bit earlier, but still a good late round option last year. Had to go earlier on the receivers, but look at that. Both the Browns running backs gone. Yeah, so like Penix is a guy I keep pushing here. I'm just going to go Rachaad White because I feel like that's my 4th running back. This team is like the way this team is built. Like we're starting a tight end, we're playing 3 wide receivers, flexing a receiver, and we're just crossing our fingers at the running back position. Man, Braylon Allen going early. I had him queued up to take as a late round pick. Yes, I kept pushing Penix and McCarthy, and like, I mean, I pushed them pretty well in this draft. I just didn't actually draft them. And I kind of wanted to get 1 of 2 of those guys. I have Drake London, I have JJ and Aaron Jones. But here we are, shoring up the tight end position, getting another running back. It is what it is. Goes Cam Ward. That's not good because I wanted Cam Ward on this team. And now I'm regretting not going with quarterbacks earlier. Why did this guy take Cam Ward? I mean, I guess he doesn't have anybody. Tajay Spears correlation. Go for Alec Manor late. And this guy's going in on the Herbert stack over there. This guy took Donta Thornton from me. Not that I needed him on this build, but I'm the guy who drafts Donta Thornton. Pickens, Dak, and Ferg, nice. Yeah, Keenan will continue to rise in ADP. I don't know if you are right, Cats. He fits the mold, but I'm worried about Anthony Richardson at this point. Yeah, I mean it didn't really matter. I went both. Yeah, I'm over here wild and out. And hey, I got Geno to Jacoby Myers. But yeah, the idea with this, I mean, it's just that like really what I should have done is just punted tight end. For some reason, I wanted to get tight end like shirt up there, but I mean, Rachaad White's my RB4, so I just kept pushing quarterback in hopes that Geno would fall and I could get one of Penix, McCarthy, or Ward, and I could have got both. And that could have been done at quarterback. So it's okay. Who needs a pinky when you're 6'5", 245? I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to recover from this draft. Don't you worry, J-Dubs. Keaton is great, but his ADP before Hills is insane to me. I still agree with this. I still think Hill is the RB2, like pretty comfortably there. Nick Chubb is gone. Man, I might have to take Stafford on this team. I really do feel like Johnny Smith is a good value in this range. Are we just not drafting Stafford because his back? Of course, he is. Every quarterback in this range, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Matt Stafford, have the same bye week. I should have just drafted JJ McCarthy. I mean, he fell in tonight's draft too. You guys knew. I mean, Rashad White. I mean, I should have gone Tucker or Kincaid. I could have gone White at 139. That's only 5 spots against ADP. Then I still could have got JJ McCarthy. Still could have got Geno right there. Still got 2 stacks. It probably would have been the better route to go. Yeah, I've been drafting a lot of Hill. I've really liked him as a late round, 18th round guy. Johnny Smith at this range is, yeah, I agree. Might get goal line carries. For sure. Yeah, definitely get some spike weeks. I know, you let me have McCarthy. Penix would have been fine there too, honestly. I have Drake London. And like, I'm not even going to draft Sam Darnold here, who I could stack with like Torrey Horton. It's my final receiver. But then I have all my quarterbacks on the same bye week. I mean, should I just do it anyways? Just give me Aaron Rodgers. Look at this This quarterback room looks so gross. Geno, Stafford, Rodgers. I couldn't take Darnold. He has the same bye week as Stafford and Geno. Aaron Rodgers staring at me into my soul right now. I think this is a build where I take just 7 receivers. This was supposed to be a better team than the last one, and I don't think it worked out. I will say these late round wide receivers I feel a lot better about. It's always this way at this point in the offseason, though. Wide receiver dart throws just feel better, but Calvin Austin, Torrey Horton, Keandre Lambert Smith, Tesla, Ray McLeod, Elke Manor, Jalen Naylor, Trey Tucker, add in some of Taylor's favorites, Cokehead, Josh Reynolds, Dontavion Wicks. I mean, there's just way more potential. Some of these late round guys. I guess I'll just take a stack and go Calvin Austin here. I guess I'll go 8 receivers, 5 running backs. We might as well like stick to the procedure. Yeah, I like Ray McLeod. I like Jalen Naylor. I'm not as high on Trey. I think I'm a. I don't know if I'm a Trey Tucker guy. I think I've been a Donta Thornton guy, if anything. But Tucker had some moments last year for sure, so I don't hate it. It was both Chiefs running backs back to back there. Yeah, and when did Keaton Mitchell move in front of Justice Hill? Like last night. I feel like he wasn't there in ADP before the preseason game. But yeah, I mean, I guess Trey Tucker is the wide receiver 2 on the depth chart, right? And then Thornton. So I think that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Wide receiver 2 locked up for now. I take Thornton too. Yeah. That makes sense. And I mean, he had moments last year with much worse quarterback play. But it's that time of year, these dart throw wide receivers always feel better than like dart throw anything else. All right, I'll go Justice Hill. All right, I'm gonna be lazy. I'm not looking at teams tonight, and I don't know. We'll draft a better, more congruent team tomorrow night. But this was still a fun team. That's okay. Geno, Stafford, Rodgers this is just disgusting. But Geno and Rodgers are stacked. Aaron Jones, Etienne, Charbs, Rashad White, Justice Hill. At least the receivers are good. JJ, Lundo, Marvin Harrison, Worthy, Ridley, Myers, Reed, Calvin Austin is stacked with Rodgers, Tucker Craft, Kincaid. It's an entry. It works. We'll draft a more focused team tomorrow. Then we'll hop into a mock draft. We'll do 2 mock drafts on Sleeper on Sunday night with Pete, and I will be streaming Monday night as well. And should be getting some content back out. My schedule got a little flip flop this past week, so I do apologize. We didn't really have like any content go out, but we'll get back on the grind this week for sure. All right, J-Dubs has Prescott with Pickens, Fergie, good. J-Lo, who I was also targeting in this draft with Matthew Golden, good. Penix with Mooney, nice. This is a heavy RB approach. Saquon, JT, Hampton, Harvey. I would have still drafted one more running back, especially with 2 of these guys having 2 week 12 bye weeks. But you're basically just relying on Barkley, JT to get you through. Hampton, Harvey down the stretch. Of course, you'll take anything earlier if possible. Pickens, Hunter, Golden, Mooney, Shaheed, Leggett, Hopkins, Michael Wilson, Coquette himself, Fergie, Johnny Smith. It's definitely an interesting squad. I think in this approach, I would just draft 2 quarterbacks. But 3 is, fine. And I would try to take one more. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers. But you're kind of doing that to offset the fact that you have better running backs. So I get it. Like on a perfect week, you're starting whichever is the highest scoring quarterback, Barkley, JT, Pickens, Hunter, Golden, Mooney, or Shaheed, really. Then flexing Hampton, if not one of these 3 receivers who aren't in the wide receiver 3 spot. Then whoever scores the most out of Fergie and Johnny Smith, and you're just taking any spike weeks you can get from the other guys here. I'm surprised you didn't target Bryce Young, or maybe you did. He just didn't come to you. You want to pick 144. Maybe you're hoping for him at 149. I don't know. You got Leggett and Coker after him. You don't always have to stack, right? But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad entry. Not a bad entry, especially for the method. Feels like Calvin Austin was overkill. Yeah, I mean, generally, yeah, I do agree. Would have been better probably just to take another running back here. Didn't really need to do anything else. Unless, I probably could have gone like Sam Darnold here and then maybe still caught Rodgers. I don't know, because Shuck went at 194. But I don't disagree. It's just we might as well just go in at 8 wide receivers here. But 7 probably would have been fine. But it's what were the real options here? I do like Brooks, for example. I had him queued up. Maybe we could have gone Brooks and Justice Hill. But I mean, once again, these late round wide receivers, I just feel better about anything else that's on the board. All right, guys, I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll have plenty of streams coming over the weekend, plenty of content coming out this week for you guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And thank you guys for hanging out tonight. It was a great stream tonight. We had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for drafting with me. We'll hop into an underdog draft tomorrow, followed by a sleeper mock draft. So make sure you guys are staying posted on Discord. And let you guys come out tomorrow night, hang out, and have some fun. So thanks again, guys. Great stream. Everyone have a great start to the weekend. I will talk to you guys soon. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, yes, out here on the catch and peace.